Good evening, everyone. Switched up here, and wow, it's it's time for the stream again. Woohoo! Ah, man, this just has been a long week. And top of all that, Friday 13, as many knows, is a bad lucky day when it happens. Well, Friday the 13th has always, always been the bad times for many reasons. I cannot even imagine how to be born on this particular day. I mean, imagine if you were born on Friday 13th, would that mean that you would have had bad luck for the rest of your life? Oh, now that would have been that would have been terrible. Though I have never heard of anyone actually born on this particular day. I mean, I'm not even aware of any of my uh, classmates from school was born on this particular day, or any of my, or my friends from online or from internet, from United States. I have I have no idea if anyone was been born on this particular day, if they would have been had a bad luck the rest of their life. Imagine born on this particular day, it would have been terrible. There is only one character from a cartoon show that the only one on the list I'm aware of that is born on this particular day. That is Eugene from Hey Arnold. He has been having bad luck every single day, regardless. Whew. Being born on this particular day, it's a pretty bad though. Imagine that. I don't know any of my friends or the extended family that have ever been born on this particular day. Luckily though, Friday 13 doesn't happen the same Friday each month since that's changes. So yeah, there only one time for only a few years ago that was actually Friday the 13th, 2 months in a row. But I had never even previously actually never experienced that. Though it's possible to be that had it been a Friday 13 2 times in a row, like 2 months in a row, it only happened at least once I'm aware of. That was only a few years ago. But be born on that particular day, ooh, that would have been tough. The only character from an actual series that I know of is Eugene from Hey Arnold. He was born on a Friday 13, and he had a bad luck every single day throughout his entire life. He either broke his arm, his leg, or had a concussion. No matter what happens, I cannot even imagine being born on that particular day. Or how about being born on this February 29th on the leap year? Like, if there was leap year this year and you were born on that day, do you have to be waiting do you have to wait 4 years to celebrate your birthday? Oh man, that would have been terrible. That would have been terrible. But yeah, I know a few people that was born on a particular day. One of them, one she was born on the December 31st, the actual New Year's Eve, and one from my old school, he was actually born on December 25th, the day after Christmas. Yeah, we celebrate Christmas the 24th, not the 25th, as many other countries do. Don't ask me why, I don't even know for sure why. Ah, man. Well, we have this Mr. Gamer. You had any bad luck today?
Not really.
Lucky. Huh? I had. A few times actually. It started like early last night. First, my Wi Fi just shut down. Well, it turned out that one we are subscribed to the subscribed to was actually had expired, but luckily we don't had another one that we use as our primary Wi-Fi. Second time that it happened, well, let's say also happened last night. I just went downstairs, used the restroom, and what did I see in the bathtub? I think it was like it was a spider, not those tiny ones. This was a pretty big. I think it was like I'd say maybe it's 3 or 4. No, wait. I think it's about 2 to 3 inches wide, and it's not even poisonous. In fact, Sweden, I at least assumed that we did had one poisonous spider, but we didn't. and I did tell my mom that US has this rattlesnake. She was even aware it was even from there. Many animals that US has actually we had something similar, except the closest death thing we had something similar to as a bison, but they only live in the further up north, like in a uh, really far up north. They're like the one of the last remnants of the Ice Age mammals. Other than that, I don't know. If Scootaloo threw Diamond Tiara into threw her tiara into Timberwolf Cave, do you think Diamond would even go after it? No. No, 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 no. Nope. And yeah, and also say from this, Timberwolves lives in every free forest, and they, for most part, refuse to even step their foot in there. The general public, they don't even go in the forest. Mainly for those dangerous animals, timberwolves, and most other dangerous one, cockatrices. The only one that can somehow control them, well, at least, well, I wouldn't say tame them, but at least make them scared, which is Fluttershy. The thing is, we only saw her stare like in the first season. I don't never saw that she used that ever since. Maybe the writers forgot about it or assumed that Fluttershy's stare was ineffective. Though I mean, wonder on this one: is it possible that the stare could have any effect on uh, other animals? I mean, like say chimeras, hydras, or in this case, rock or the rook, the big bird that was chasing Spike in the episode when he got his wings. That bird is so simple as a giant eagle, some kind. Even though there is actually supposed to be a giant eagle species in the U.S. known as the thunderbird, but it hasn't been scientifically proven that if it exists. I don't think anyone else are cool with Stephen Jonian since knowing him is unlikely to show up. But who knows? Do you want to do a smash and pass or just shield stream?
No, I'm fine with just a chill stream.
Yeah, we can do that. I will change the name. Yeah. I really haven't done much today. It's just, chill. I was considering it to even to take a walk outside,
Oh,
but I
this
was just not much in the mood for that.
same here.
Since Fluttershy has its stare, do you think Fluttershy is half demon?
What?
No, I don't think. I don't think so,
I just
Robert.
hold on a second. Can I just? I gotta ask real quick. This is very important. How the hell did you even? How the hell did that question go? She isn't a demon. What made you think she was?
Mm. In fact, we never even there isn't there is hasn't even been anything as remote as a demon in the show.
I mean, I guess the closest thing to a demon is Discord, but other than that,
Yeah, I mean, after all, he's the spirit of chaos.
I guess.
But yeah, but considering there has always been a main question like, how did Fluttershy even get this ability to talk to animals? Was it just that she was born with, or this if like is a rare ability, or it is very common? If there's others, if there had been anyone else in her family had been able to talk to animals. The only ones that we know of her family is her younger brother, Brice, except for Brice, her mom, her dad, but that's it. And as far as I can say, is that her father, Mr. Shy, is retired. And it seems that they are at least assuming that we don't know for a fact. I don't think neither her parents can even talk to animals. But if this is a genetic trait from someone in her family, it's really not a question to know as like from which side. If from her father's side or from her mother's side. That's another thing about it. We don't even know. It's just you know, a big mystery. And as we ever since the first season was released back in 2010, like 14 years ago, yeah, that long ago. Knowing for a fact that many fans made store shippings of twin Rarity and Spike and having dragon pony hybrid children. But the thing is, we hadn't even seen any form of remotely that in the actual series. And I mean, we don't even know for a fact if it's even possible for a dragon to even, to even reproduce with any other, maybe other from perhaps, I don't know, hippogriffs, maybe. But I mean, we hadn't even seen any other hybrids. The only remotest hybrid is the hippogriffs. Well, kinda. The reason I came up with Fluttershy being a half demon is the effect the stare has on other creatures. I mean, it's possible that that's
That
something.
doesn't mean she's a demon.
Mm, no, maybe that she's not half demon, but assuming from this, though, Robert, maybe there's a possibility that this is a genetic trait, has something that has been passed down in her
Exactly.
family for generations. I mean, assuming for at least that this, say from this, if the since she has the stare ability, it is this possible this could have been something that has been passed down in her family, but maybe not has something to do with the demonic or anything, but it could have been something else. Maybe there's a magical effect. I mean, we know for a fact the whole family is Pegasus, but it is also a possibility that maybe some of her ancestors may even have been an earth pony or even a unicorn. I mean, the Cake family, for example, Mrs. Cake has this has a cousin twice removed. which is a Pegasus, and Mr. Cake, I think it was like great, 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 great. I think it was like 4 or 5 times great grandfather who was a unicorn. And since then, it's possible that maybe Fluttershy got her ability of the stare from maybe it was a combination of magic in a distant past. But even if someone would have asked Hasbro writers or any of the staff, those who are behind the project, is it possible they won't even give us the answer? Maybe, maybe not. The same thing as for like, you know, um, it's like Blue Blood. He is the several times great nephew of Luna Celestia, and if he is like, I think he's like 50 times great nephew to Luna and Celestia. So that means if he is the nephew, would that have meant that Celestia and Luna had a sibling somewhere in the far few past? Maybe not someone, maybe not even, you know, maybe it wasn't even an alicorn. Now we know for a fact that both Celestia and Luna are in fact from Skyros, the Alicorn land. But not assuming that everyone from Skyros are in fact all unicorn or alicorns. So if that assuming that since Blue Blood is the nephew of Luna Celestia, and not from that, other from Blue Blood, there has never been saying any of her family, like her parents or anything. But if he is his nephew, there has to be at least one sibling. But then the question is, where is their sibling? Is it a male or a female? Is it an alicorn or even a unicorn? I mean, after all, it's very difficult to say exactly. And even though at one point during the production, just before the show was even made, there were some questions of making Celestia queen instead of princess. But Lord Faust, I think it was her, decided to change that from queen to princess. So so yeah, it's just I think how Fluttershy got to stare is her ancestor who was an evil Pegasus warlord. Um, I mean, considering at least interesting theory. It is. Oh, Malachite is here. But there's only one thing that might be a little bit different. That um, it depends on like how far back ancestry that you're talking about. Because there might, even though it's an interesting theory, but there are some plot holes in that makes it a bit hard to believe. And I will be going much for the actual series storyline. And especially when they celebrate the Heartswarming Eve, but they made it play, which took place in a time where neither the opponent kind didn't trust each other, despite they lived in the same land. But there was not much friendship between them. There was like more like uh, sporadic acquaintance, or at least a uh, sporadic, fragile alliance, kinda. Even though there weren't much fully trust between the Earth ponies with Ega Pegasus and the Unicorn, and vice versa. So even the Pegasus, the command, one of the Pegasus founder, who was played by Rainbow, wanted to conquer, or at least to claim, the Equestria as their land. So I would say maybe that if that particular, well, I mean, before time of Grugar, well, Robert, it's not about that. Um, yeah, well, considering it is from this point of view. Even when Grugar was introduced, quote unquote, Grugar in season 9, when 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 Tarek explained, or at least told them about that Grugar was the self-proclaimed emperor of Equestria. And even at that time, the war ponies had lived in Equestria. So, assuming that Grugar didn't rule Equestria even before them. So I don't know how to say that the ponies had moved, or at least settled, in Equestria before Grugar. Otherwise, that's a little bit surprising because if Grugar was present the whole time and the ponies were settling down, yeah, it might be those two ways. I don't know for sure, but it's just I mean, we know for a fact during the time of the ponies were not trusting each other much, but not how that the Wendigos appeared. The Pegasus commander, he or she, I don't know for a fact, I don't know if it was a female. But anyways, that commander wouldn't hesitate to try to put a claim on the new land for the Pegasus. And even at the beginning, that commander was selfish, like many others in during that time, since, like I said, there were not much of fully trust between them. Since the Earth ponies was literally forced to give some of their own crops, some of their grown food to the Pegasus, and that they had even given some of the food to the unicorns. And that, in response, the unicorns was the one that controlled the night and day cycle. That was before Celestia and Luna. So I mean, it's possible they could have been. Um, but even though that Pegasus commander did change its mind, accepted and embraced friendship, which were foundation, the very foundation of how the peace between the Ponykites started. So if that commander could have been a bit selfish in the beginning, then yeah, it's possible there could have been other Pegasus, maybe a warlord. That might have been. But it's also the thing, there's just that we don't know about the previous, much about the details of how the life were prior to the foundation of Equestria in their original homeland. We really just don't know. I mean, it's not impossible to say that there were Pegasus that were warlords or chiefs on their own kind. I mean, we know for a fact that maybe there were several tribes or smaller villages that may have its own chief or chieftain or even a warlord. I mean, we don't even know for a fact if. I mean, we don't even know if there had been any other previous wars, but even before they even came to Equestria. That's another thing. What if the stare is not genetic but instead occurs? That is another. Oh, bye, Malachite. Well, I mean, it's possible that the stare that Floodshine had could have been a curse. I mean, think about it. It's a possibility it could have been a curse. But the other thing is about it that makes it possible to be a curse is that the main question is when? When the curse was given or put. That's the thing. And at the time, even though that pony may actually been aware of the curse, or even been, I mean, it's possibility that ancestor may actually been aware of the curse, or not even were even aware of it at all. If you see from this, even though there might have been a curse in the beginning, but it has also that particular ancestor may not even have been aware of the curse, and even didn't and was surprised that I can even talk to animals suddenly. And after time, even that particular ancestor made me wonder why or how did this even happen in the first place? But even if that was, say, time of the foundation of Equestria, and at that time there were no libraries or anything, so that they couldn't just go to look up for information. And if this ancestor would have eventually get married and have a child, and maybe but the thing is, we don't. I mean, I don't know if the curse could have been passed down to the next generation, next and after that, unless if this is a curse that is made to be passed down from generation to generation. And some curses may actually just remain with one person, or in this case, this pony. When the pony dies, the curse also is gone. I mean, if that would have been the case, that would not have been worked. I mean, if that was just that the curse would have been stuck to just one pony and not been transferred to next generation, that would have meant that the way the franchise has to stare may not have even been a curse otherwise. But if the pony, her ancestor, did have the curse without not being aware of it, and in fact, maybe this pony, this ancestor, was put the curse on, may not even had even been aware of the curse, and may not even have been aware of this ability. And after time, as the next generation comes, born dies and born and dies, next and next and on for several generations. Who knows though how many in that family can actually have this? And in fact, and also the thing is, we don't know for a fact from which side of the family, if for instance from the father's side or the mother's side, how this ability is. But get this idea. If this is a genetic or a curse that gives a pony this ability to have it stare, considering this point of view, what about Zephyr Breeze, her younger brother? If she has ability of the stare, is it possible that her brother also had ability? If it is, we have not even seen it. In fact, when Zephyr Breeze was staying with his sister for a short while, and after a while, Fluttershy had enough of her brother. She had been gave him like a stare, but not that particular stare, but just she was angry at him. So is it possible that the stare that she used on animals could also work on other ponies? I would not be honest with this. I don't think this particular stare is only made for animals. I think it could work on almost anyone. I can say for one fact that she used that on a full-grown dragon. A full-grown dragon. A dragon that was maybe almost two, maybe 3 times larger than Amber. Almost the same size as maybe almost the same size when Spike when he was in his greed mode. So even if that she had this and is a curse, would that be passed down for countless of generations? So what if that she is the only one and that she has it? Another question is if her brother has it also. But it is like many diseases or illness. And sometimes it can skip a generation. I mean, we don't even fact. What if it's only? What if that the males? It's if this were from let's say if this was from her father's side, and even though this let's say even though males can have the curse, but they can't use it. and that it only affects females. Like, if that's like her saying, if that was her mother, she can use the stare and not her brother, but only females. But her brothers will still have the curse, but he can use it. And if when he has a child with someone, and if they had a daughter, that curse will be passed on to his daughter, and eventually it continues. But at the same time, we don't even know for a fact if this is a curse or if this somehow is genetic. It's just I mean, it's all a lot of good theory. There is. It's just I don't know. But what do you think, the game guy?
Hmm.
I mean, do you think it's a curse or is it genetic? What do you think?
I think okay. I want to give my opinions on both. Honestly, if it was a curse, it'd be more interesting because it's like, how long did Fluttershy have this curse? When did she get it? How did she get it? How did she learn how to control it? Like, when did she do that? Why was she cursed? Like, what cursed her?
I
Did
mean,
something curse her, or
true,
was it like something
but
else that
yeah,
just
but what
happened?
if it wasn't? Yeah, but here's the thing: what if it wasn't her that got the curse, but it was somehow one of her ancestor was putting the curse on, and it was passed down throughout
That's not how
generations?
curses work. That is
I
not how
mean,
they work. In
uh,
typical media, okay. In typical
I mean, if it
media,
were
if a
that,
character
maybe.
gets cursed and they have a kid, the kid isn't going to have the curse because the curse is like concentrated on one person. That's usually how curses work. When they're singular anyway. You don't
Yeah, I
have a
mean,
kid and then it just goes to the kid. Yet the curse has to go to the kid. It's like a hot potato.
mm, I mean, unless even if there would have been a curse that we passed down, and only though even if this affects both male or females, but only it only like if it thought that the males could have been like a carrier, but only that this effect only affects females, not males. But at the same time, yeah, I had to say the curse is unless it's something, if there's a cursed, if I'd like to say okay, even if there was her ancestor being cursed, and this pony who made this curse could even have created an item that this curse contained inside. It could have been a daily item that has been disguised as a decoration, a family heirloom. And then if anyone in the family that even it's just only females can have been affected. And if she touched that item and the curse probably put on her, and even if her mother has curse, you don't know. I mean, we had I mean, but if this one only like even if both male and females been affected the same thing, we had never seen that there's much effect on her brother. When he was confronted by his sister, so we don't know for a fact if this actually works on that. So yeah, I mean it's just interesting idea. Uh, but but the thing is, we had never actually seen any form of remotely to as a curse in the show at all. The only thing is, I mean, what if it's maybe it's not a curse, maybe it's um, maybe it's a magic spell or something. But if I had to say that most likely, if this ability of her stare and all that, I have to say this. Maybe it isn't had nothing to do with the curse or genetic. What if she just learned it on her own? Maybe it's a trait, maybe it's ability that she had learned. I mean, what if this ability has nothing to do with any form of magic ability or anything? It's just that something that she had learned. Maybe it's a way from her to. I mean, we know for a fact that she was bullied by those stallions from Cloudsteel when she was younger. So it's possible that she had learned how to cope herself. If you're referring to the cottage as being the whole item that's been cursed, um, if you mean like what? You mean like if a pony just walks in a build
That's
in her home
not
and that it became
really an
cursed?
item. Also, an item would be like a basket or maybe
Yeah, it
like
could be
a.
almost anything. I mean,
It could be a basket, a bucket, like maybe
could be a mirror. It could
um
be a mirror.
some sort of like
It could be a hairbrush or anything. But
airbrush,
here's
yeah, like
another.
a painting.
Yeah, but here's
Usually,
the.
usually it isn't a house that's cursed. Haunted, yes. Cursed, no. Those are
But
separate things. Also, don't say,
here's
"Oh,
another.
haunted's the same thing as cursed." That's not. Those are separate. Those are separate
Here's
things.
another thing about it. If the case, if that her cottage is cursed, it's like would it given any ponies the curse, and they also have this
Exactly. Like
ability.
if you go okay, if Twilight, if say Twilight Sparkle is that would be
Like,
rude. That would just be rude. Like imagine that you're going back
yeah,
home, right?
if that would have been the
Okay, think
case,
about this. All right, think about this for a second. You're walking home, and you touch the door, and if it cursed you, then would it curse you every time you use the door, or would it just be that one time?
I think it's more
Because it's
likely
like
just once.
if it's a curse where it's like, oh, you get like
Yeah,
super scared or super hungry or something like that. Is it
I
every
think it's
time you
more
open the
likely.
door? Is it like once per week, once per month, once per life?
I
Every
think it's
time
more like.
we gotta have some rules here.
Yeah, I think it's like it might just only be one time event happen. But hear me out. We know for a fact that Fluttershy, if the door is cursed, and that you only needed to touch it just once, and not never more. But here's the thing: after Fluttershy dies, eventually or by old age, her cottage is left abandoned. But then, in I can say right now, the main six of G5 actually went there. They went to Fluttershy's cottage and went inside. So would they been cursed? Possible. But I don't know. And honestly, my opinion is that this isn't a curse or genetic. I think it is her stare is just something that she had learned on her own. Like he was bullied.
I feel like
And it
if it
has
was,
become
I feel like if it was genetic, it would make more sense.
yeah, but
Because it's
also
like,
maybe
but
that
here's the thing too: who does she inherit it from? Because we never see her parents do it, and we don't see Zephyr do it. So if she
no,
didn't get it
that's
from
true.
them, who did she get it from?
I mean, there is also a possibility that she had learned this ability or this. I mean, if it has nothing to do with genetic or magic or curse, I mean, you if you remember in that episode where Ironville came to had his seminar and Fluttershy went there how to stand up for herself, to be brave, and how she yelled out Pinky and Rarity. And I can assume that maybe it's something similar to that, and that what if that she had been looking in her mirror, trying to toughen up enough? I mean, after all, she was bullied back in Cloudsdale. which has been confirmed in that particular episode when Fluttershy, Twilight went back in time several times by Starlight. Another thing is, and as that
But
in Hurricane Fluttershy,
I mean, Robert,
even
the
even though
thing
what that
too is the thing too is again. Well, I guess no. That is kind of how curses work. Typically, when the cursed person dies, the curse goes away because they're dead. There's no reason for the curse to stick around. But I mean, it depends. Again, it depends on the curse you're talking about. The stare. I like to think. Okay, here's my thing. I like to think it was a spell from Twilight, like maybe after they defeated Nightmare Moon in the first season, because she doesn't show it until like episode 10. Maybe she's like, "Hey, you're always scared and stuff like that. Have this ability that you only use once and then never again, or something like that." I don't know. It's
well, I
possible,
mean, here's the thing.
or maybe it's part. Maybe
Um,
it's part of the element of friendship or something.
yeah, well, she did use the ability, or at least a stare, um, after when she was babysitting the Q Market Satyrs in that they run into in the forest and Twilight was turned to stone, and she used the ability against the cockatrice. And my still opinion is that
Well, the spell would be
this,
eternal even after that.
yeah. So I just think that my honest opinion is that the stare has nothing to do with the curse, magic, or genetic. It's just
Nope, there's
something that
no
she had
way.
learned. No.
It's blood match. There's no way an HE double hockey stick that it's blood magic. Black magic, maybe. Blood magic, no.
Never even heard of blood magic before.
Blood magic is basically a way more crazy version of black magic. And you know when it's crazier than that, you know it's wild.
Hmm.
But I know for a fact
Well,
it isn't. There. A, that's not. It's a kids show, so there's no way in hell that they would just make that be the reason. B, you would need someone's blood to do it, and I don't think, and I don't care how close of friends they are, they're not going to sacrifice their blood just so Fluttershy can have her stare or whatever. C, they would need to know about it, which I don't think they ever do. And D, we go back to A, which is it's a kids show. They wouldn't do that.
and
I realize that
I
A
had
and D is
not
the
even
exact same thing, but it just to emphasize my point.
yeah, and I had never seen any dark magic in the series. I mean, other from the time when Chrysalis using magic when she tried to when she made those
I
main
mean,
six.
Starlight Glitter technically did it, but she still
Well, I
defeated
mean,
them
it's just
back in time.
yeah, hard to say exactly, but but honestly, I think it's just something that she had learned about her own. It's just my honest opinion.
I think I like the. I think I like both. I think I like the what is it? I forget what it was.
Yeah, I mean,
Generic, not generic.
yeah,
I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking generic instead of genetic because that's
eh.
clearly how that works. But that's my opinion anyway. The curse
Yeah,
is a
I
fun
mean, it's
idea, but genetics makes the most sense.
yeah, I mean, it's possible, but but at the same time, Robert actually had a few good points on how the hysteria even came to be. But the ability that she has with animals, that is definitely very very much different to be can be genetic. I mean, it was like okay, okay, this is actually something similar that has been used in a different show years before even G4 was even made. The family of the wild family of Thornberrys. That was a run on Nickelodeon. That the youngest girl, the daughter in the family, Elisa Thornberry, she was given this ability to talk to animals. First, when she had ability, she could only talk to animals, but she lost ability to talk to humans. But the creator, the shaman who gave her this ability, he made another spell that made her that she could talk to both humans and animals, but only one condition. She could not reveal this to anyone. If she did, she would have lost the ability to talk to animals. So there's another thing about it. She used this ability throughout her entire series to help animals, and even she had it very difficult times to even to try to hide it. But eventually, two people find out: her older sister and her adopted brother, Donnie. But they both made it possible to keep it a secret. So when she has kids of her own, it's a very possibility that will eventually be passed down to the next generation. I think it is possible. What if Fluttershy tried to have a zombie as a pet? Nope, 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 nope. I don't think so.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I have a lot of questions right now. And actually, I'm going to ask every single one of them. So give me a second. Question one: where the hell would she get a zombie from? How would it come to life? Would she just use a spell to make it come to life? How would the spell even work? She would need to find a graveyard, which we've never seen in any of the My Little Ponies, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
All right, here's point number two. Why Fluttershy? How would she even react? How would she explain it to any of her friends? How would she say, "Oh, by the way, Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, by the way, I have a zombie as a pet. By the way, like, how would she break that news to them?" Question three.
Pointer, and I have a pointer for that. That
What?
depends over. As a zombie, as a pet, if he refers to like an animal as a zombie or an actual pony as a zombie. And that's another thing is if there is a spell for this to reviving a dead animal or a pony as a zombie, that spell would have been a necromancer, which is a word for. But here's the thing: the necromancer would have considered a dark magic. Another thing, forbidden magic. And even if Twilight were having her spells, even though she has spell books, even when she lived in the library, the Oak Library, there is no way in hell she would even have any type of spell books in her library at the time. And even when she is having her castle, and even for the fact that Celestia gave her a lot of books during the first Celestia during the Rainbow Rocks, I believe it was. Even despite even she gave her magic spells books, I don't believe even none of them were even contained that type of spells. And even even Starlight shown her knowledge of some old spells. But I really doubted that even she knows any. Even if she had known any form of necromancer magic, like that she could revive anyone that died, or even have been dead for a short while, I don't think she even wouldn't even to teach that or even use it. Whereas in a Quizzy Girl special, Forgotten Memory or Forgotten Friendship, what about that? Because when they went to the public library in Candelot, they went to a restricted area. That place may contain some books that actually has some forbidden spells or very advanced spells. But at the same time, even if Fluttershy wanted to have a zombie as a pet, the main other question is what would she even feed it with? As we all know, as a general, they eat brains. So, how in the heck would she even get that on her hands on? I mean, she would not like just go killing animals to get their brains so that they can she feed into it. I don't know, but that nope, nope. But if she would have a pet zombie, and if not eat brains, then what the heck would they even eat? No but food? Pfft, doubt it. um. So yeah, but I mean, first, would it be a pet for like an animal or a pony? And how would she even get that to revive it from living dead? I mean, had to be a spell, sure, but it's not like a spell you can go to the local library or even ask the most skilled mad unicorn in town. This is the type of spell that would have been very top, top protected in a restricted area. Only the most professional wizards, only those professional wizards only would have been permitted to have those. And in case, even when it's one of us still as a unicorn, and even still as a student of Celestia, I think she must have even asked Celestia for permission to even to study those type of spells. But even if Celestia gave her permission, she may even have to ask her why she wanted to study the spell in the first place. Because just for being curious, I don't think that would even be enough for Celestia to be satisfied as an answer. Because those type of spells are very dark magic. I mean, unless that you didn't even need Twilight for help, or Celestia, or Luna, or any other unicorn. What if she just goes to Discord? I'm a hello, spirit of chaos. He can use his magic to create almost anything. He can turn a normal cute squirrel to a buff control freak. So why would not his ability not to being able to revive, an animal? I mean, if he has magic, can Discord create somehow revive someone that died and making a zombie? Or he doesn't even need that. What if it just snaps his fingers and he can even create an actual zombie just like that? I mean, that's possible, but at the same time, first of all, like I said, what would that zombie eat? What would it even be? A pony or an animal? And where would she even keep it? In a cage? And that's another thing is, it's just I don't even know. And I mean, they were never in friend. Well, actually, the word zombie were actually mentioned in the series. In the episode of Bridal Gossip, when uh, when Sakura was first introduced. But at the same time, I just really have a bit hard to believe. I mean, zombie ponies, no. And why does she even ask that as a pet in the first place? It's kind of a bit weird. You know, do you think the end of season 9, Sweetie Belle took over the Carousel Boutique? Um, actually, I don't know. And honestly, though, what do you think?
Maybe.
For I remember in that series, in that episode, Fluttershy, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo, and Applebloom were teachers at School of Friendship. And when Rarity, along with Luster Dawn, went to the boutique, or her shop, or how do you say it? Sandman, not Sandman, but Sandbar and Jonah walked out from it. And Jonah is an employee of Rarity. So it's possible Jonah just only works there, or she's the one that runs, or that she took over, and that and the one that took over that one in Catlot would have been Sassy Saddle, and Coco Pomel would have gone and taken over that one in Manhattan. It makes sense. There were some implication or implied that Rarity had opened another one in Yakistan, among the Yaks' home country. I mean, it's not like they were really confirmed, but it was just only implied to that. But at the same time, not sure. But I think it's possible that Jonah is still just only an employee there, and that Rarity still owns it. Or maybe that even though Rarity may still be the owner, but Jonah is the one that's running it, the place. I mean, and at the time, we only have released 3 of those boutiques. And by the time of the season 9's finale, it has been a number of years since the coronation. So it's possible that Rarity had set up a number of other boutiques in other different cities, like Baltimore, Trondheim, or even Vancouver. So there's a really possibility that she can set up a number of other stores or boutiques. So if she had to be running around to maintain all of them, it's impossible. So it's really likely that even after Jonah finished school there, she remained, and I'm have to say she was the one that took over. Even though Rare Sweetie Belle has not even shown any form of interest in fashion from what season 1 and onwards. But even if she was the one that also worked there, maybe Jonah was the one that been put in charge for the whole place. Maybe Sweetie Belle only there worked as a part time, or maybe she doesn't have still nothing to do with fashion. Because in the Daughter of Discord, and even in as Bride of Discord, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo, and Apple Bloom, they were working as musicians. They were like in a band traveling around. So, is it possible that Sweetie Belle took over the Carousel Boutique? Maybe. But there's also a possibility that Jonah took over. But also that we don't know for a fact that if Jonah isn't even the one that took over, or she just only working here. That's another thing about it. I think maybe it's likely that Jonah just started working there. Maybe, I don't know, but it's just some of those are. It's a little difficult to say exactly without any, further information or something like that. So it, it's a bit tricky. The same thing is for like, what about like Grugar? Is he still out there waiting to be returned, or was he even real in the first place? But you know, or as many fans, I may also wonder if there are any others out there like Discord in a whole different country, just full of Discord's kind. Maybe, maybe not. But in fact, it isn't. There was actually one brony that went to those conventions and even asked, I think was even asked Lauren Faust directly if there was any other of Discord's kind out there, or he was the only ones. But it turned out that Discord is the single of its kind, or he's not even a full species. Do you think Spoiled Rich got arrested for the way she treated Diamond Tiara and Filthy Rich got married to Rarity after that? No, I don't think so. I don't think so that happened. I mean, she really, I mean, she didn't like literally abuse Diamond Tiara or anything. She only verbally saying what she wanted, how, but I don't think that's it. Would have been enough as much as evidence, even to have other witness around them. But despite that, I don't think it would have not been enough. And even if that someone would put a police report on Spoiler Rich for that, there wouldn't even still not even be much happening, despite there are dozens of witnesses to have seen this happen. But it wouldn't still doesn't even much happen on it. I mean, if I was start saying the same thing to say to Game Guy or Roy or any one of my friends, would the police do anything about it? Nope, they wouldn't. There is not. There's only verbally, and it's not much they can do. So, and even if it's filter rich, I think he still could have been doing two things. Gave filter spoiler rich a very strict warning not to do this again, like to chill out. Or he could have given her a warning saying that if you don't act, if you keep acting like this, I will divorce you. And after that, yeah, we don't know, no. Even though Spoiler Rich isn't her actual full name from the beginning, not the rich part, but she was her full name before she was married was actually Spoiled Milk. I don't know why, but yep, that was just it. I wonder where Mulligan went. Huh. He was here, then he went. And he put that on Discord. Yes, I have no idea. And Kubo, well, he's inactive, but I doubt that he will even back or even be here. What Spoiled Rich got arrested and an adult Diamond Tiara was a police warden.
What would she even be arrested for?
Yeah, exactly. That would have been that would have been it would have been something pretty bad for if that happened.
Also,
I
why
mean,
would Diamond Tiara want to be a police warden in the first place?
yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
two good questions that I need answers to.
yeah. I mean, first, yeah, like if the first one is, what was she had even done to even get into a jail in the first place? I mean, the only thing about this is that we don't even know exactly much of the Pony Society's law and justice in there, how it even works, like the laws. And in fact, we had never seen any police department in Ponyville at all. At all. The only ones the place that I can even imagine that actually has a police station is Bradwood, uh, Crystal Empire, Trondheim, Baltimore, Vancouver, Canterlot, all those big cities. But Ponyville, doubt it. I mean, even if that's so, what would that spoiler rich done to get arrested in the first place? It would have been something specific crime. I mean, even if she would had, I mean, okay, even if she would have been target, if she target how she treated Diamond Tiara when she was young, where a lot of verbally abuse of things like that, statements, insults. But even if she would have been arrested years later on that charges, I can say right now, it would not have worked. Certain crimes, like in our world, has a limit how long they can last or how long they can actually be in certain, like if you commit one type of crime, it sometimes it lasts for, if you manage to avoid the law for even beyond that time, you will not be able to be arrested for that. But some crimes has the limit. Like if you murdered someone and you manage to avoid the law for 20 to as 50 years, and you're able to find out, and you've been have been found and all that, and be put in jail, yes, that would happen still. So the main question is, what kind of crime would Spoiled Rich have done in if that she had been arrested for? And for her to be abusing or verbally abusing to her own daughter when she was young, it would not have worked. None of that would even have stuck that long. And I mean, like I said, we don't even know for a fact how their laws even works. Two of the most severe crimes that be the punishment, sent to the moon and being sent to Taurus. But be sent to the Taurus would have been a very, very, very severe crime. And be sent to the moon, also same thing, had been something severe. But here's the thing: we don't even know how long they can be sent. If this, like, say, if Celestia sent Twilight to the moon as a punishment, we don't even know for a fact if she had been there for 10 years, 1 year, 6 months, or if there's automatically that she had to be there for 1,000 years. That's the thing. We don't even know. If it's possible that when they sent to be in jail or sent to the moon, and they had to be there for just 1,000 years, and so automatically, honestly though, I don't know.
Malachite's
What do you
back.
think, the game there? All right. And we have Malachite back.
I honestly don't know. If I'm being honest with you.
But
Mm,
what do you think, Malachite? I mean, what would you think that were required for Spoiled Rich to be arrested? What do you think would have to be?
assault.
Mm. I mean, do you think about this? Do you know that's um, Sir Howard Diamond's mother has been treating her when she was young?
Robin obviously didn't hear my last question before the
Uh,
why would she get arrested. So let's reinstate that. Why would she want to become a police warden? All right, great. Honestly, I think Carousel Boutique makes more sense.
Same here.
True.
I mean,
Or
the way Diamond reacts with her mood, she's kind of like one of those queens that is all for jewelry and fashion.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But then here's the little about that.
And honestly, I could see Silver Spoon kind of working there too. She does wear those pearls on her necklace.
Well, here's the thing. That the main question is, which Carousel Boutique? If I
Probably the one
remember,
in Ponyville, since it's closer to where they live.
well,
Exactly.
it is possible that they may not even get a bigger opportunity to work in a big city.
I mean, for what we know in the show space, despite really only 3 boutiques, there's only one Carousel boutique, the one in Ponyville. Her boutique in Canterlot, she calls that one Canterlot Boutique.
Yeah, but it's still the same brand, just a different name. But here's the thing, though. I know for a fact it's a very possibility if both Silver Spoon and Diamond Jar work at the Carousel Boutique, and if they have been asked by Rarity if they want to be transferred to Candelot's boutique, or even made had a boutique for only short temporarily to get, experience, to learn more experience on different in a different big compared to a small town to a big city. You know, just to see how the difference is. Like
Mm,
just to get more experience in a business. I mean,
mm,
that's what I was referring to. I mean, it's like if you were working, say, if you work in a small town and if you were working at small, uh, say, if you're working at a big brand like say Starbucks, if there is one in your town, and yet and eventually you could have been transferred from that place to a bigger city, like say maybe it is New York or something like, or in maybe a big city in your area,
mm,
as a potential to um, bigger experience or anything, maybe to increase your chances to be promoted from something. So in this
mm,
case, for as for Riot's boutique, I think it's possible that they could have been just temporarily been transferred to not either of those bigger ones in those big cities, just to for get more experience of things.
mm.
How to see difference in compared to a small town to a big cities,
I mean, I
and
can,
then maybe
I mean, I
and then
can
maybe transfer
understand.
back that all.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, in my Princess Dashi's role plays, currently, we have Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara as sisters to Sweet Belle and Rarity. Surprisingly enough, because honestly, though, despite despite I never really technically liked Spoiled Rich's character, except for the one kindly bit where she did the favor for Diamond Tiara, to where she had the letter to ask her dad if she could donate the money for the new playground equipment. That little bit I do not mind, but technically I did not like her character whatsoever. But so
Yeah,
I technically can't see Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon being Three Bells sisters, honestly.
yeah, understandable. It's just seeing how many fans may actually wonder what will happen to both those. And how about this? If there was something happened that if Filter Rich would have passed away, and what would happen to the family business? Well, surely that was something that Spoiler Rich were taking over. But what if that happened to both have passed down or passed away? Who will even taken in Diamond Tor in the first place? Well, that to consider it in two ways. If that would happen before she was redeemed herself, it's a little bit difficult to exactly say who would have been taking her in. But in the second option is that when she has redeemed herself, it's a very possibility, or at least the most likely way, that Silver Spoon had asked her parents to adopt Diamond. And since
But
Diamond
but
and
here's
Silver
the
Spoon's
thing, though.
family would have been aware of her.
From the looks of Carousel Boutique, it probably looks like it has more than it probably looks like it has room for at least three bedrooms. And if Silver Spoon's house didn't particularly have like a spare room or whatnot, depending on the size of her room, it's possible that there could have been room for a second bed in there. But if there wasn't enough room and her parents were not particularly sure, then backup option was that one of the CMC would have taken Diamond's heart in by asking one of their sisters or whatnot. And forgive me for saying sisters to all of them, but really Rainbow Dash has been a sister to school. I mean, come on about that fact. But out of the three of them, Sweetbo is the most likely one, next to Apple Bloom, honestly.
Yeah, well, we have the only thing about it. We know for a fact that at least Diamond Silver Spoon has a mother, but
Mm.
the thing is, we have never seen her family of that or that she lives. We have seen Diamond Tiana's family home. She has a butler. She has both her parents. But the only thing is, which one of the family of her parents would have given will get this the Parent of the Year award? Who do you think will even get one? In my
of
opinion,
who as options?
of Diamond Torres' family, of her parents, who do you think would even receive could have win the best of the year award?
Honestly, out of the two of them, despite his name and how well of a job he does, I would have to say her father.
Exactly, same thing. I don't think Diamond Torres' mother will even be as remotely to that. I mean, her mother is, despite being a parent, but she doesn't feel seen. In her opinion, when she was at to her own daughter, that she shouldn't be socializing with blank for blanks, in her words, because of this family status or something. She was more worried about the family status of being socializing with those who had even received their CUNY mark. But here's the thing though, even if the CMCs had their CUNY marks, would it still have been would it still being classified to spoil rich as low branch or low status in society? Likely. Yeah, so I don't think so. But spoiled rich, in my opinion, is the worst parent ever.
And take a quick walk to make food.
All right.
Mm.
Is your dad there? Huh.
Yes, he brought me home. Roy wasn't
Huh.
around, so that's why I had to wait.
Mm. But if we're while we're talking on the subject of you know parenthood, aside from Diamond Star possibly going with Silver Spoon or Spreebo, or at least a possible chance with Apple Bloom. I mean, with Scootaloo's, we number one, we have never particularly seen her parents until the MLP creators decided to spoil everyone's dream of seeing Rainbow Dash being her adoptive mother, since she is technically Scootaloo's idol and hangs out a
Yeah,
lot with her sometimes.
true.
I mean, that's
But
stupid, honestly.
mhm, though, even when they brought in Skulu's family or her parents like that, I love it. But I was a little bit disappointing how they decided to bring her with them. But the thing is, even if they would have taken Skula with them to Sri Lanka, wherever they were going to, it's not the saying that no matter where they had gone, would have they been safe? Possibly, but depending on if they went off the grid, living like
I
middle
would
of
have said
nowhere.
no because of the alligator that came into the school scaring the kids
That was apparently their pet.
or whatnot.
Yeah,
Still,
who knows? Yeah, but the only ones that are most likely that otherwise. But despite her parents' occupation, but I still can see genuine love, compassion, and empathy for their parents towards Scootaloo, and especially their concern of their daughter's safety. I mean, they've really shown genuine feelings about their daughter's future, about their how they're worried about her. I mean, and from that point of view, they really are good parents. And I don't understand that they are so dedicated for their work, how to travel to places that most points don't want to go to. I mean, in that, understandable. It's like Daring Do. She
I mean,
has an uncle.
okay, but answer me this: what on earth is dangerous about Ponyville? I mean, aside from what we've seen in the past, I mean, if the everything force went out of control again, that's a very rarely thing to happen once in a while. But aside from that, Ponyville's not really no dangerous town, honestly.
That is a good point. But yeah, but still, considering of how many of those families that had been in the series, but at least having her aunts, her biological aunt, and her uh, aunt's partner, Aunt Lofty and Aunt Holiday, even though they are the closest as a family to Scootaloo, they are truly very acting parents to her. I mean, she couldn't even have asked any for any better. They were, in fact, many years, for a long time, and he wonders if she was even an orphan. Where was she even living? There were pictures, as in pictures of her living in a cardboard box in an alley. I mean, it's just a joke for that. And many wonders had also wondered, what about like Scooter, the rest of the main six, like say Fluttershy. It's like,
I mean,
what about her
Fluttershy,
family?
Fluttershy is also a good choice for Scootaloo's mom.
Yeah, it was for the theory that she was in fact Scootaloo's mom, that she had give her up because she wasn't too young to even raise a kid like that. I mean, that would have possible, but later turned out to be debunked. Many actually had always been wondered all the time to that, considering that. I mean, I mean, even if like for as Game Guy's family, he has several brothers. His parents were at one point married, but they divorced, but they're still good terms. And as for many families that had been, I've in fact had several friends who had went through something similar. Like some of them were actually divorced, but they're still good terms. One where she her dad was literally kicked out by her mom. I let's see, that was a for terrible thing he did, and not going into much details.
I
Just saying
mean,
it's pretty bad.
I mean, I mean, in our current role play, we've been thinking of ponies that could possibly be. G Princess Dashi had the idea of possibly some ponies being godmothers to some of the CMC. And the one we're doing currently, which is our third one, we have Celestia as School's godmother because I had Rainbow Dash ask her, and she said she would.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can see that work.
I mean, honestly, I mean, your story with Pipsqueak and Luna, that honestly is, well, a pretty good, you know, story to. What what technically, if there were chances we could have done a few of the other CMC's friends with the two royal sisters? Honestly, that honestly is not a bad idea at all, as well.
Good point.
I
Um,
mean,
Game Guy.
he, hear me out, Swedish. Honestly, before you get into that, honestly, I can also see Tender Taps and Chip Cutter being with Luna, but they're in those two. I could probably see with Celeste if they asked her and gave her a chance, and she said she'd love to. But
True.
I'm not sure about Pipsqueak though. Luna's the only one best for him because because of the Nightmare Night memory that you brought up in the story.
Mm-hmm. Even though, considering there is another family that's also a big mystery. Fondly, a Rumble. He is raising his brother, and no reference of her parents or anything. So, is it possible that Bolfer, that the Fondling was older, was not that old, and that he had to raise his younger brother as a as a baby or as a toddler by himself? That's another thing, because we know even when okay, we don't know precise when Applejack's family parents died, but it had to be at some point after Apple Bloom was born. It's just that. And even when Apple Bloom was born and and Applejack had to say that she may have been maybe just around starting school, maybe 7, 8. And Big Mac was only another thing is we know for a fact he's the oldest, but we don't know for how many years older. Can be 4 years, can be 5 years, can be 3 years, but we don't know for exactly. But it's just that both Apple Bloom, both Applejack, Big Mac helped Granny to raise Apple Bloom, while she raised all of them herself. Well, I wouldn't say that she didn't all on her own. It's very likely that she had other extended family to help with some things that if it was needed for that. I mean, it's just possible. And I actually have been thinking of doing a new type of series of stories, a true sibling story. Uh, there says just that the problem is it might not even be as many as the other stores are. I mean, there's just that not many siblings. If you remember that episode where those siblings that were CMC had turned older magically, they encountered two siblings there carrying this animal. Um, I may not be able to do a story about them since I don't know much about them. Maybe only their names or so, but yeah. Game guy.
Mhm.
How did your parents? I had a little question to you, Dad.
Yeah.
How did he and your mom like? How was it for him and your mom raising like six boys and all that? I mean, how did even he handle that?
Um, it's it's kind of a personal question right there, buddy. I wouldn't ask that if I were you.
All right, but would you do you okay? How about this? Um, how did he?
I'll be right back. I need to do something real quick. It's
All right,
gonna be just real quick.
all right. But how would he? Have to try to come up with this as one good one. But but how was it for him? Otherwise, raising six boys. I mean, if that's the two
Uh,
person, but I mean, was it like
I mean,
you know?
it
I
was
mean, was it like all?
probably wasn't
I
too
mean,
bad.
was it like always a full
We could just
house?
not talk about it.
I mean, what is? What's always a full house? I mean, boys of different age and always running around, pranking and all that. So I can say this though: your dad and your mom probably would be happy that neither of you or your brothers were born at the same day. Like that would have been, you know, like a complete nightmare, especially at nights and all that. Economics, buying stuff that they needed, like diapers, food, and all that stuff. Especially two seasons, two things for a year: birthdays and Christmas. You know, imagine a Christmas tree covered. Oh man, and just stuff. But I think your dad actually had his hard times to raising that many kids in the family, But sometimes it's tough. Sometimes very good times. Am I right?
Yeah.
Imagine if yourself had, or if Roy or Dylan has 4 or 5 kids. Oh man, that's just great. Though I cannot imagine raising that many kids. Man, it's just. Even though I was looking forward to some Smash or Pass or even Games for Stream, but I can always do it tomorrow.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, but Games for Stream, that depends on since that would be you know Day of Tomorrow Part 2. Would you be up for some, I don't know, Hangman?
Mm,
In a
not really.
bummer. Well, always other things we can do. Oh, man, I'm tired. Even though I haven't done much stuff today. Oh, oh boy. I'm also tired because I've been eating too much candy. That means a sugar rush and sugar crush. Sometimes I actually can, if I eat too much sweets or pastry like cookies or cake or anything, too much whipped cream or so such stuff, I get like more like tired, basically. Too much sugar make me tired. But I learned one way to lower that stuff, which is drinking water. For some reason, drinking water can actually alter that effect of the sugar sweetness. And I can't eat too much sweets. Like it's not like a. It's just the only sweets I can't eat too much of is chocolate balls. Yeah, that's how it is called actually. So don't sue me for that. It's just pastry. But I can't even eat too much like cinnamon buns or anything. It's just that too much sweets or pastries or even if it had a cake like a birthday cake, I can only like eat one piece, not more than that. Otherwise, I will be feel so tired, or if I can even get the feeling that I will be could have been throwing up or something like that, being feeling sick. But all I had to do, drink some water and just lay down. I will give it maybe in half an hour or so, maybe an hour or less, and eventually it will just pass off. It happens. How would Diamond Teora's family react if she died? Oh, not died, but her died her mane and tail black. Oh, you prefer like the god style? Hmm. One word: shocked. But it also depending on that would also depending on when it happens.
Here's one other word to describe it: confused.
Hmm. Yeah, if she would done this as a filly, yeah, that's the problem. It's like it's just that the thing is, I don't think even like young kids can even go to stores to buy hair dyes like that. I think maybe they have some like certain items like beers or energy drinks, something like that. There or cigarettes. I think it's like an age limit, or maybe they can buy it. But it's just that where would she been doing it? I doubt that she would have been doing it at her home. Considering if they have a butler, so if they had a butler, they may even have maids. I mean, after all, she is the richest family in the town, other from maybe Silver Spoon. But it's just that there had to be some reason for that. Sometimes when some teenagers, when they're reaching the emo phase, God style or something like that, maybe sometimes teenagers actually embrace the God style not because they're in the depression phase or anything or emo phase. They're just doing it as they feel it right. But there is also But the main question is like when she did it. If she's still as a young filly, that would have been raising a lot of question marks, even for her family, close friends. Without a word, the general public would have been just wondered. But if she was a teenager, maybe it would have been more like if she's showing interest or expressing herself somehow, or it could have been that she is still listening to rock music, or maybe something else. But if that would happen, if she's say if she was being in her teen years, well, if you'd like to say it between 13 and 18, but if it was like between 13 and 15 or 13 and 16, well, I mean, it could have been different reasons. That she just still feeling that she entered her emo slash rebellious phase that many teens have gone through. Not myself. I have never even been an emo or goth. Um, but it can be like that. It could have been something. Could have been depression, or they just that she liked the style of music, or she just wanted to try something new. Maybe just trying the new look. They can leave with that. But her family would have been shocked and confused and even asking why. Like I said, there can be different reasons why she's been doing it. But if she done it as from say it from 16 to 18, yeah, they could be pretty much just being the same thing. Maybe just try something new. You know, sometimes teenagers can try a new appearance, new look, like dyeing your hairs, piercings, tattoos. They're all about that. I don't think there actually is any tattoo parlors or stores, anything like that in Questia. We haven't seen anyone on actually to use a tattoo, as far as I can tell. But dying here, well, the only ones that we seeing that actually dyed their hair black, or the main tail black, Celestia. She did. While Luna had her kind of 70s, 80s style, like the disco style main tail. That happened when they have their first vacation in over 1,000 years. That's even surprised me when I saw it the first time. But considering of for Diamond Torres still case though, like I said, can be different reasons. Can be that she is trying to express her new ways, or but I don't know. What do you think, Kyle? Game guy. Game guy. Yep, he's dead.
I said it's hard to say.
Ah, well, I didn't hear you. Yeah, true. Hard to say for exactly what it can be a reason. It can be multiple reasons. Well, I mean, I can only imagine though. Dimetora, in the beginning, the first few seasons, she was not even one of my top favorite characters. She was like one of my less favorite ones. But after she redeemed, she started acting a bit better. even though they showed her when she was older in the season finale. I actually seen shippings with Diamond Tara with other from Silver Spoon, CMC. I even seen with her with what's her name again? Twist, another uh, classmate of hers. I mean, I even seen Diamond Tara with some other characters from other than from Pwnville, even including the main six. That's just not about a big shocker on that one. Considering that people can make up their shippings, some are possibles, others are maybe, others are questionables, like, and some are like, no, that's not happening. So many stores. And I have many stores myself to done. And I actually went through my flash drive what has some stores been stored on, and I deleted several stores on it. But they were the stores that only been uploaded. I have no reason to keep them on there if I already put them on my channel. No reason for that. But other than that, I don't have a still many stores being focused on. There is one particular story I had, not a true love story, not a true friend story or anything. A story that's about the main six as pirates. I haven't even worked on that one. It's just an idea I had. Well, who knows? I wonder when Malachi will be back. He said he's going to be back for. Who knows? Oi. Okay. Excuse me. But yeah. Many stories left to do. Many more to do. I'll be busy for years. Yay. Ah, man. Game Guy, would you be, if they would be doing Super Millionaire Awards, would you be up for that? And he's busy at the moment. Great. Yeah, I haven't done much today. Friday 13. Bad luck. But not for long. It's almost midnight.
Just
Got it?
with absolutely no context. I just heard you say soup because you glitched
Soup?
out on my end. I just heard you say, Kyle, are you up for soup? And I can confirm I do want some soup.
Wow. What kind of soup you want?
Just give me chicken noodle. Can't go wrong with that.
Never had it before.
You have to. It's so good.
Noodle soup? Never had it either. But noodles? Yep, I had it. Chicken soup? I think I had. But it has been a long time. I wonder how snake soup will taste like. Nah, I don't know. People say human meat are supposed to be tasting chicken. I don't care. Well, people saying though, meat, regardless what meat it is, always tastes like chicken. But I doubt it. I don't think that's possible. Especially, there was one guy actually went in the jungle somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. He captured a snake, cooked it, and according to his words, it didn't taste like chicken. It tastes like, well, rubber. So, yeah, like tough rubber. That's just one thing. So, I in fact actually heard this with some stores in Sweden that literally have been selling exotic meat. How would Diamond Tona's family react if she decided to be a stallion? Oh, if you're referring to like the uh, sex change operation surgery, well, the mom would be like, she would be furious. I mean, she's expecting her daughter to get married and start a family at one point, have kids. She will like have grandkids at one point. So she will be furious, no doubt. But her dad, filthy rich. I've been thinking that he might even be, um, hmm, hmm. Well, he might be surprised and shocked, but he would be a little bit sad that he won't be able to be a grandfather from at least a biological grandfather that way. But he would try his best to support her choice. But yeah, I think that's at least what I think it could be possible. But what do you think, Game Guy? Gang Guy, what do you think? Yep, he is probably have some mic problems. Or I'm still glitching out for him. Mr. Game Banana or Mr. Tomato.
I didn't even hear you ask your question.
How would Diamond Tiara's parents or family react if she wanted to be a stallion? What do you think they would react?
I have no idea, dude.
I'm, is it is it that bad? I'm glad I'm liking off or glitching out there.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
So I'm glitching that bad.
Sometimes, yeah. So bad that I can't even hear you.
Hey, well, as official, I need new mic. Hey, that's just terrible. And I wasn't asking you about if you want some soup. If Malachite would be back, and if he asked to play some Super Millionaire afterwards, would you be up for that?
I don't know.
Hey, Well, wonder when he will be back though. He's just said that he will be back soon. But at the moment, I can't see any reason for that. So I will just try to do the stream for 2 hours, not more than that. Yep. Yep. Let's go see what happens. Well, any plans for the weekend, Mr. Gamer? I asked.
Not
said-
really.
Huh. Same. Well, it depends for what kind of weather it is. I don't know, maybe go fishing or something, but who knows? Whew. Well, when it comes to the stores for Christmas gifts, well, not much has been. There are only a few people left to being figure out which one to do. So far it's just you and Game Dashi that's left behind to take care of. I first thought maybe doing Knuckles for rarity for another of my one of my viewers, but she asked for a flurry heart with pumpkin cake. So that means Roy will have the Knuckles rarity story. And even though I was only doing 14 stores, but now I have 15, which is Apple Bloom with Cozy Glow for Robert. So that's taken care of, but I hadn't even started working on any of those stores. And I'm not in a rush for that though, since it's for December. And we are now in September, so I have at least 2 months. And so yeah. Even when he said Apple Bloom as audio, yeah, I don't know about that. It's just Apple see. I think it was Apple Bloom Cozy Glow story that I told for Fire Goddess. She said that she had found kids for that store already. I think that was like 13. 13 kids. So that's gonna be a lot of work. Hey, that's gonna be busy. Man, I'll be busy for a while. No, I'm kidding. Man, really? I have this heartburn going on. Despite not even been eating too spicy stuff or anything, but the problem is, I don't even have any stomach acid anymore. And I don't know how can I even get the heartburn in the first place. That's a problem. Despite I have some despite how much water I drink, it won't fade away. I don't know why. It really doesn't bother me that much. I don't get too bad at all. Oh well, I can live with it so far. Been having that for constant for almost 2 weeks, or just 1 week. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think Mounthead's coming back.
Nah, I don't think so.
Not like it matters. I'm not really in for millionaire or whatever. So
Yeah, same.
right. So should
I
we
mean,
end it here,
we can go for a few more minutes to maybe reach 2 hours. It's at 56 or 57 minutes right now, so in a few seconds.
or all right?
So, so how's the brother?
No, he's doing
What was
all
it?
right, I guess.
Any words from Dylan though otherwise?
Nope, not yet.
You
Well,
know,
nothing
I'm
important.
I'm really still surprised that he even showed up that time when I do the Pokemon stream. I mean, he just showed up out of the blue,
Guess
and he
he
has
just
never done that before.
didn't say hi. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he was when he was still in UK, and it was just I don't remember exactly which there with me though. I think it was not the Malachite. It wasn't that. Not you or Roy. Who could it have been? Not Stormy. I think it was possibly Dashi, but I don't know for sure exactly. I had to go back and look at that one. I mean, it just
Lord,
showed up. What?
was Lord there?
What?
Was Lord Acidicus there?
It's possible it could have been him. I'm not sure exactly, but there wasn't like I think it was like last year or something. I was just doing a stream and about Pokemon, and I think there was Lore there, and we were just talking, and suddenly this random person showed up in a backstage, and it was muted and had this you know the missing number Pokemon, and it was Dylan of all places. Even though he didn't talk much because toward him it was his next door neighbor had a party, so he did talk to just a few times when he was mostly muted. So I was surprised that your brother just showed up like that. That's a big shocker.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't even know he knew about your. I guess did I send him that? I think I might have. I
I
don't
mean,
remember.
he probably knows that it's my username, so maybe I'll even search that up.
True. Yeah, you probably just look it up and whatever.
And he, I
Anyway,
mean, it's
hey, look at that. We're about to get to 2 hours.
yep.
And now we're at 2 hours.
So what's for dinner?
Take a wild guess. Shoot for the stars. Tell us give us a meal you think that we will have.
Pizza.
Nope.
Mickey D.
Nope.
Steak.
There you go. Third
And
time's charm.
our friendly green, Mr. Green is back.
Dad's upset about the news. Actually, he's upset about politics. Who isn't at this point? Hi, Malachite.
Hey,
Yeah, and the stream won't be that much longer. And game guys is much up for any millionaire afterwards, so you know. And I will be muted myself and had to do something.
No one wants to hear politics, do they? Well, maybe they do. I don't know. I just don't. Up too late, whatever. Actually, I got a decent sleep last night, like 10 hours or whatever, but. That's the reason why. Because I'm tired. And also, just I don't feel like it. Wait, guys. What else, man?
Tonight at 11 Eastern, a special interview with former President Donald Trump. David Trinsky spoke with Republican presidential he said Harris is going to Russia to get in office, and that she is still the president. But she has actually left for Bernie Sanders.
Ooh, Discord. What's not a kite? But it's seven trains. Counting the one I didn't see earlier. I like how all of them are green and there's just the one at the bottom that's blue. As someone with OCD, that drives me nuts. As someone who appreciates this art, it doesn't drive me nuts. I love the first one, by the way. The first one's fucking awesome. That black and green, that neon looking thing, that's awesome.
Well, first of all, I mean, we knew that you didn't like nuts, but you are a nut.
I didn't even say nuts. Not even a close resemblance of the word. I couldn't think of the word for a second. But then.
I could have misheard that.
Yeah, Game Guy, you should really give them a try. The 2D Disney character style and bright neon green steam locomotive stained glass artwork is what the description is.
Yeah, I haven't really made any stuff on Perchance lately, so maybe I'll
Also,
get that.
Of the 9 that I just sent, you take a closer look at number 2 and number 6.
Phone,
Huh.
you are about to be
Awesome. I think it's about to end stream here, so.
Back it up. Yeah, they're pretty amaze balls. That's what you
Yeah.
Amaze balls.
Yes,
I mean-
amaze balls. They're balls that are amazing. They're not balls at all, but that's what I said anyway.
What's next?
The wheels
Amaze
don't
ball.
look like balls. There you go.
Well, I probably should end the stream here, guys. So you know.
Mm.
Alright.
So yeah. Everyone, that's been fun having been here on this stream. And until next time will be tomorrow. We will see if there will be a game show stream or Smash and Pass or perhaps something else. We will see. And as usual, Malakat might not even be there at the beginning. That depends what he will be doing at the time. So we usually know that he has a family game night. So which for the most part really happens. So yeah. And we will see who else will be there. You know. So until next time, this is Switch Diablo signing off. Bye.
See ya.
Sniper rifles, body armor,
Hey, goodbye.
for soldiers fighting.
And if you see a shooting star, make a wish.
Spread Kremlin propaganda.